So we are absolutely delighted to have the lovely Samara with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Samara's been with us at Cinch FAST 30 now since May. So what's that, 9 months?
I know.
So you must have been in our trial.
I was in the trial, yes. What a journey.
And why did you? What made you join? Like what? It's always good to hear that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I was intrigued. I have been intermittent fasting now for 9 years. From after I had Jude, who's my eldest, who'll be 10 in March. And whenever I seen that there was an opportunity of a local group, I thought, right, okay, I need to be on the straight and narrow with this. So I joined essentially for the health benefits. Obviously, I am at a stage now where it's a maintenance program for me, but it's very much a lifestyle choice.
Yes, because a lot of people would say, oh, sure, you're so thin, you don't need to do intermittent fast.
I just loved the lifestyle, the benefits, the health benefits, like the likes of the clarity. The mind clarity, which is really important whenever you're running a business. Yeah. I also love the fact it made me a lot more mindful about how I was eating.
Yes.
I was jumping into the car in the mornings and popping a mint straight in my mouth, and all of a sudden my fast was broke.
And you were aware of that before?
I wasn't aware of that before, and I think that's the benefit of being in the group as well too. It's the awareness, it's the accountability. It's also made me really mindful of my choices. I have a really sweet tooth.
Okay.
So I love the protein balls, and it just definitely has made me more mindful of what I put in my mouth. One of the biggest challenges for me, I'm going to be really honest, was the black coffee.
Right.
Yes, that's a major thing, and we have about 4 messages this morning, private messages going, I'm sorry, I couldn't drink black coffee. Is it okay if I have a wee bit of milk?
No.
The answer is always no. But and they're like, I couldn't, it's just disgusting. I was the same. I thought, no, now as the 3 of us with our wee black coffee.
Cheers.
Are you an addict or are you?
An addict. I will never put milk in my coffee again. And I think I posted this recently, the secret, in my opinion, is having a coffee that doesn't have a bitter aftertaste, like your Cinch coffee.
Yes, that was the main reason we came up with that, because we were both the same. We're like, I'm drinking this all day long and I just can't take that taste anymore. So we did a whole day of tasting all these different varieties. Who knew there were so many different varieties and processes?
I know.
But it is important.
Yes, to get the right coffee.
Totally. So that was probably, and whenever I chat to people about intermittent fasting, they always say to me, black coffee, I will never go back. Never go back.
And it suppresses your hunger, but it also, there's some research to suggest it burns your fat.
Absolutely.
Even better.
Yeah.
But you are a personal stylist.
I am.
And we had followed you for a long time before. So when you asked to join up, we're like, oh my goodness.
Stop.
Royal, we've made it week 1. Royalty's asking to join us.
We're kind of like, absolutely come and join us, but can you tell us what we need to do with our work?
Yeah, we have a major style crisis here. So as a very busy, and you're like, try and get an appointment with you, and you're like, 2025 would be good by March. So you're obviously flat out. How do you sustain that energy? I mean, we had a personal styling session with you, and we were frazzled at. We were like, it's so much information.
Unbelievable.
Are you going home now? You're like, no, I have 2 more clients. I had 2 this morning. How do you sustain that energy?
I definitely think it's down to the IF.
Right.
I absolutely, and I'm being really, really honest, and I said to you girls that I'll be really, really honest with the listeners and with the viewers whenever I come on. 100% my energy level will be the same now as what it will be at 12 o'clock at night whenever I go to the bed. So yeah.
And how it's done that is because basically when you're not eating all day every day, as we previously were before, and I don't know about anybody watching this, but this was me. I was an up and downer. I'd phone you some days and go, I'm just lying on my desk before I because it's the carbs and
the energy slumps.
It's like a pendulum. But when you're not doing that, you're able to sustain your energy much better, and you've noticed that.
And I even find with my sleeping as well. I mean, like, see, before I had children, I have 4 kids. Before I had kids, I was very much like the eternal university student. So like literally could have slept 12 hours a day. Maybe at the weekends wouldn't have got up to 3 o'clock.
Really?
Oh my word, totally. Wow. Like, I'm still very much a night owl, but my sleep has 100% improved and I need less of it. If I'm being really honest,
Yeah.
I'm a kind of 5-hour girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you've gone, that's actually
incredible.
It is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Because people always think about intermittent fasting just as weight loss.
Yeah.
They don't see all the other benefits that it
Absolutely.
brings to your life.
Absolutely.
And you've lost the weight. You said you were a stone and a half heavier.
About a stone and a half heavier, 2011. So that was pre having Jude. He was born in 2012. So about a stone and a half heavier. And don't get me wrong, I have went down. I've went down less than that, but I've kind of probably I've had the twins 4 years ago. I've maintained that weight the whole way along. And I think it was also easier for anybody who's listening who has children or who's maybe pregnant and a wee bit nervous about that, change. I think it also helped my body to go back as well too, because of that memory.
Yeah.
And it gave you a formula probably, because we were talking about this. I struggled for 10 years to lose weight, and there's just not enough information about, I was starving all the time because I was getting up at stupid o'clock to feed the baby, and then I was opening my window at 5 a.m, eating all day long every day, and then, the weight wasn't shifting.
And you're maybe thinking you're being good, you're maybe having a yogurt and fruit.
Yeah, I don't even eat that much. I eat healthily. I work out. We've heard it so many times.
Yeah.
I was one of those people. Isn't it like a light bulb?
Oh my word. I think it's because we are so miseducated. We are told, you eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, and if you want to lose weight, you don't snack. And
That's right.
And IF kind of throws all that out the window.
Oh yeah, all that message of, your breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
And guilt.
Yeah.
I think that there's a real guilt to that. Your breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and you can't, and you can't, and you can't. Whereas I feel IF says you can.
Yeah, you can, and it's all down to you, that you make the decisions when you fast, because a lot of people are like, it's too restrictive for me. What would be what do you recommend? Whatever suits your life. And that's why every day is movable. It's a moving target, so it's not restrictive. No foods are off limit. Like, of course, don't be going to fast food outlets for 3 meals a day, but that's not rocket science.
Yes.
You start to want to feed your body with the window-worthy food, and that's something we were talking about before.
Yeah.
So you're wanting to put the good foods into your body,
Absolutely.
and you're wanting to then, I don't know about you guys, but it's had that ripple effect with the rest of my life. I want to go to the workouts. I want to get my work done so we can go
I
for a
think it
walk.
does teach you discipline as well.
Absolutely.
So instead of just every time you get a hunger pang, you think, oh, what'll I go and eat?
Yes.
It just gives you that step back a minute. I don't actually need to eat anything here.
Another big light bulb moment for me, I am notoriously wick at drinking water.
Right.
You said that at the start.
Oh my goodness. I remember I had problems with my skin, and I remember going to see a specialist and her saying to me, how much water do you drink? And I was all 9 cups a day. And she was like, that's amazing. I went, and coffee. But what being part of your group has taught me is whenever I get those hunger pangs, I'm maybe thirsty.
Yes.
So it has encouraged me to drink more water.
And your skin is amazing.
Glowing. Oh my goodness.
That has been lots and lots of
when I see you doing a live or whatever, or one of your posts, I'm like, I wonder what filter that is, and then it says no filter. Jeez, look at her skin. So you are the walking embodiment of health.
I know.
Thank you
For
so
intermittent
much.
fasting.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And so you mentioned 4 children. How on earth do you manage 4
I
children?
cannot believe you have 4 children.
And a full-time business. And look like that.
And look like that. Oh my
Sometimes I can't believe I have 4 children. I meet people who would have knew me whenever I was younger, and they always go to me, oh my goodness, you have 4 children.
And 4 boys at that.
4 boys.
Even 4 quiet girls.
So my house is chaotic. Absolutely chaotic. I think there's obviously a huge element of organisation.
Okay.
Huge element of organisation. I'm a very decisive person, so I make the decision and I run with it. I remember somebody saying to me, make decisions quickly and change them slowly. I think I've said that the right way around. I have great support as well. I have a really supportive husband. I have great support, family support, both sides for childcare. So yeah, and I think as well too, the key, it's the positivity. Which again is another thing I think has come out of that. Brain clarity. And anybody who follows my page or who has worked with me or who knows me will know that I'm a glass is half full as opposed to glass is half empty.
And that's all mindset.
It's all
You have
mindset,
to get the right
totally.
mindset for anything.
It's for everything, whether it's it's running a household of 4 boys, it's running a business, it's doing intermittent fasting. If you get your mindset right and decide right now it's going to work for you.
Totally.
This family is chaos, but it's going to work for us.
Yeah.
And I think so many people need to start with that
Oh, absolutely.
before anything else.
Yeah.
And so how did you become a stylist? You don't just wake up one day and look this fabulous. How did that happen? Tell us a wee bit about that.
My background's actually event management and PR. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Did you?
I did know that, yes.
And in 2016, and again, this probably feeds into why I've enjoyed the IF so much, I was very ill. So I had a thing called vestibular neuronitis, which for anybody who has never heard that term, it's like really chronic vertigo.
Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh.
Which was brought on by stress.
Wow.
So I was off my job at the time for 5 months, and I never forget, my husband was the physio for the Northern Ireland football team, and he was heading off to the Euros, as you do, and I was at home with 2 small children, like age 3 and age 1. And I remember Paul saying to me, Samara, find something that you love and learn to make money for it. You know that old cliche?
Yeah.
So he was walking out the door and he said to me, look, what do you want to do? And I said, I think I love women. I love the power of clothes. I'm going to look into a personal styling course. So at the time, the course was like 10 grand. And I just thought, well, I don't have 10 grand.
Dear enough.
So Paul is leaving to go to France for 6 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
And going out the door, I will never, I've actually goosebumps saying this. He just said to me, book the course, I'll pay for it, you pay me back.
Oh.
So I really like
I know, we do like Paul. He's
Paul's
a good
dead
house,
on.
but he really is dead on. And I remember sitting on that plane. The first training was in London. I've subsequently done training in America, in Australia, in Italy as well too. That was my men's training. And I remember sitting on the plane to London thinking, how am I paying this 10 grand back? Maybe forget about it.
Yeah, maybe he was only saying that.
Maybe he was just saying that. But I had actually confided in a school friend that I was doing the training, and she said to me, I'll be your first client whenever you come back. So she was, but what I didn't know was she had also told basically everybody she knew. So for the first year of business, I didn't have to tout any business at all. It was all word of mouth.
That's class.
So the business has just grew beyond my wildest dreams. If I'm being really, really honest, I am now working with clients. I have a good lot of clients obviously here in the UK. I have clients, a portion of clients in our ROI. I have clients further afield. So in lockdown I picked up clients in Germany, in Dubai and America. I have 6 expats spread across America, which is absolutely, it's just incredible, and only set to get bigger as well.
And we know firsthand why that is, because
definitely.
the session we had with you,
It blew our minds.
It blew our minds. It was. I remember I was just staring at you over my mouth, going, "What do you mean? I said red, all these colours. That's because you're like this, and you've done your homework on us. Angela, you're a bit like this. So I was thinking more like this for you and your brand. And I was like." Stuff you always think a bit indulgent to think about yourself, but you were like, why would you feel indulgent, Angela? You are fabulous. And I was like, oh, I love you. So you brought the confidence to us. You brought a whole new world of clothing that we had never even
I shop
considered.
completely differently now. Every time I go to the shops, I'm thinking, would Samara say
No.
about this? You know, do you think Samara would give that a thumbs
You should get
up?
t-shirts saying what would Samara say.
One of my clients actually said that. She said, what about wristbands? What would Samara do? I love your stripes actually today.
Thank you.
Good one.
Find it.
Absolutely, yes.
all
yes. I think as well too, we spend so much, particularly as women, we spend so much of our time putting everybody else first, everybody's needs first.
Yeah.
And we go through, we're constantly evolving. You know, our life changes, our identity can have a bit of a crisis, particularly if you are somebody who maybe has had a massive weight gain, a massive weight loss. You've been through a life crisis, so maybe you've been made redundant, maybe you've separated, you've been widowed. I have a lot of clients, sadly, at the moment who are going through cancer treatment, so they've had a huge knock to their confidence and their self-belief as well too. So, and I think aside from that, it can be very difficult to look at yourself objectively.
It can. It's really hard, and you do feel a bit weak about it, especially in Northern Ireland, I think. But you brought that to it.
Yeah, I think we were both in a complete rut.
We were.
You know, we're just buying the same old stuff, you know, black
cheap stuff. And we were like, can you go to this shop? Samara's like, Angela, you're better than that. And I'm like, why so?
I just get my clothes in Tesco's when I do a weekly shop.
Florence and Fred do some nice stuff, and it is lovely stuff.
And
But
you can do wee bits and bobs.
But it was you educating us, like, well, no, is it value per weight? It was just.
Yeah.
But one of the major things with both of us was a confidence issue,
Mm-hmm.
and so many of our women come to us and they're private messaging saying, "I just feel disgusting. I'm fat. I'm ugly," and it is horrible to hear it.
Yeah.
But we all talk negatively about
We
ourselves.
do, yeah.
I'm sure you come across it a lot. What anybody listening to this, what advice could you, that little voice in your head that's saying you're fat, you're disgusting, you're not, so how do we silence that?
Absolutely. A lot of it's to do with mindset. So I think whenever people look at the surface and hear stylist, they think, oh, vanity.
Mm-hmm.
And that is actually a really ignorant perception of it, because it's not. My approach is individuality. So, individuality, integrity, so there is no judgment, and I always urge clients to come without any self-judgment. We have a lot of limiting beliefs too that come from childhood. So if somebody has made a really nasty comment about something in childhood, those words stick in your mind.
True.
Yeah.
And as well, we never take the time to really look at the real us. So whenever I have a consultation with a client, I'll say to them, so tell me a wee bit about yourself. Very few people ever ask you to tell you a bit about yourself. So they'll say to me, well, I'm Samara, married to Paul, 4 children, we've just built a house, blah, blah, blah. And I'll go, yeah, that's about your life, but tell me about you. And they're stumped.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to drill down to is what makes you tick. What I'm trying to show them is their authenticity and to embrace their individuality rather than trying to hide those quirks that make them you, because there is nobody else. It's going to sound like a cliche. There is nobody else in this world who is you.
Yes, exactly.
And that's the real focus here. It's about really embracing who you are and understanding the real you. For many of us, for most of us, our lights have been dimmed. And I think it's about showing clients that they can really raise their visibility. I had a client recently who said to me, Samara, I feel, she's worked with me for about 4 years now, and she said, Samara, I feel like the door is open and the world is ready to see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that can be done in the 3 hours. So you
Exactly.
do like a little one-to-one session with that?
Yes, that particular client has worked with me. She's went the whole way through my program. So, we've looked at her image, we've looked at her signature style, we've looked at her limiting beliefs, and we have looked at dressing her body shape. So we have looked at proportions, body lines, prints. And then we have went into her wardrobe. We have looked at her current wardrobe and whether it is serving her or not serving her.
Wow.
And then we have progressed on to personal shop. So she would tend to personal shop with me every season. So 4 seasons in a year: spring, summer, autumn, winter. Obviously we're educated that it's spring, summer and autumn, winter, but whenever we look at it again objectively at the lifestyle needs of the client's wardrobe, in springtime you've just come out of hibernation of winter, so you're looking to lighten up, but it's not quite warm enough to be summertime, so we're looking at the spring wear, maybe a nice raincoat for the spring and maybe lighter denim than what we would wear in the winter. And we progress through the year to build a wardrobe that is worthy of the highest version of you.
It's brilliant,
Wow.
isn't it?
It's stuff.
It's like a whole
It is.
light bulb
Yeah.
moment whenever you actually think about it.
And I think the major thing that we took from it, well, I personally took from it, I remember saying to you, I would just feel really wick wearing that if we were going to the Christmas party or whatever. I described what I was going to wear, and you said, Angela, who gives a damn what anybody else thinks? And it stuck with me, and I went to wear something at Christmas. My husband's like, are you really wearing that? I was like, I actually don't give a damn what anybody else thinks.
I'm gonna wear
And I
it.
felt really empowered,
Yeah.
and I felt, you're right,
Yeah.
who cares
Yeah.
what anybody
Because
else?
usually
I
before
liked
we would
it.
dress, to kind of, blend
What are you
in.
wearing?
You
Yes.
blend
What's
in.
everybody
you
else
can't
wearing?
stand, you can't
I
stand
know,
out. You
I
can't have
know.
anybody looking at you. Wearing the
I
wrong
know.
thing.
But it's that compare and despair culture, and obviously that's magnified now for women and for men too on the likes of social media. And the compare and despair, it's that kind of blend in.
Yeah.
Why blend in? And it's not that I'm going to dress everybody like Barbie.
Yeah.
It's all about you, and that's the thing. Again, whenever people think of image and style, what I actually do is I give clients confidence. I rebuild their confidence if it has been lost. I raise their visibility in the 4 pillars of their life. So personally, professionally, socially, in their community as well too, so that they can journey with me, because it's a partnership. You know, they have to be invested in their journey too. But it's about really realizing their true potential and just getting rid of that voice in their head and not letting others hold them back.
Well, it's funny, whenever we had our style session with you, I nearly felt a bit emotional.
Yes.
I know exactly what you mean.
So it's like, oh my goodness, think about yourself, and you know, it opened up all this floodgates.
Absolutely.
So you're thinking,
I think for me that's what I love about what I do. I see a client. I was telling a story earlier on about a client who came to me feeling all those emotions that you had felt, really, really down on herself. And again, she had been through the journey. In our first ever personal shop, I said to her, you know, she kept on telling me all the things that was wrong with her body. And my philosophy is always, let's forget about those and let's look at your assets. So I was saying to her, you know, you've an amazing wee waistline in there, you've a really great bust line, we're going to show that off, So I picked out a jumper, I'll never forget it. It was a blue jumper, and I took her into the changing room in a department store, and she said to me, oh no, that'll never work. And I said, listen, trust me, and I will never forget her opening the fitting room door, and it was like an angel coming out. Aww. And she went to me, look at my waist, oh my goodness, I have a waist, look at my, and she said, is it okay for me to say I'm gorgeous?
Aww.
And you know, I get that constantly.
Yeah, that I think people who think that personal styling is for the rich and the wealthy.
Yeah, it's wrong.
It's not that. Do you have to have masses of money to do this?
No, you really, really don't. You absolutely don't. And a lot of people will come to me and they will say, you know, do I have to have lots of money? You know, what's the budget?
You know, what shops are you taking me to?
What
if she takes us to Gucci and all? We will have Gucci money.
I always work with an individual client. There is nothing that is, you know, it's a tried and tested formula, because it is individual and bespoke to you, bespoke to your lifestyle, bespoke to your individual needs, bespoke to your characteristics, your body shape, and bespoke to your budget. What I never want to do is put somebody in a financial difficulty. You know, and I will always say to them, if clients need a bit of guidance of where to spend money, I will give them the guidance in their wardrobe. I always, whenever I'm personal shopping with them, if they give me a budget, so they say they give me a budget of £500, I'll be saying to them as we go through the shops, because of course whenever a stylist is showing you all the things that suit you want it all.
Of course.
Whereas I'm a wee bit like the devil on, or not the devil on the shoulder, I'm a wee bit like the angel on the shoulder, going, now listen, you're at £326, just to make you aware, now you're at 470, you have 2 more things left to get, we'll call it a day. You know, my business is really based on integrity. Integrity, really respect, as well as the creativity and the individuality side of things. And I think it's really important to look at everybody's individual needs there.
Absolutely. And the education piece is massive, because we were chomping at the bit. Can we not just go to the shops now? We were like, girls, calm the hell down.
Take a shopping.
First of all, you know, look at yourselves, and you ask questions where we felt uncomfortable. We're like, I've never looked at myself and said that my wee waist was there. Or do you really think I have? And it was just this. It's like turning around and looking at yourself for the first time
in years,
and not feeling embarrassed or ashamed to go, okay, do you have quite nice, whatever? Or and I was saying, oh, my big bum, and you were going, Angela, will you stop it? That's in. It's not big, by the way. And what about this, this, and this? Have you ever looked at that? I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that bit because I was too busy looking at that. So it's giving yourself permission, and it's investing in yourself, and so many people don't. They go through life putting their children first, the children are left, and they're left there going, well, what about me? And it's time to look at you and stop feeling the guilt.
Absolutely.
Do you get a lot of guilt from people?
Oh yeah, I do in the very beginning, and then they change, because it's a massive mindset change as well too. For many clients, it's a light bulb moment. It's almost permission to know that they can. And again, with that journey, it's really showing them it's all about the individuality. And I think that's what really helps them move past that compare and despair. You know, and checking in, because whenever we're comparing and despairing, you know, we're almost checking in for, you know, do you think that would be okay? You know, whenever you're going out with your girlfriends and everybody texts them whatever you wear, whatever you wear.
Can I have some approval here?
What's the dress? Do you think that's all right? No, nobody's going to go, no, you look stinking.
I know.
But that's one of the things that you did for us. I was going to a wedding. We were going to a do, as you call it in Northern Ireland, and I'd text you a picture of myself with it, and you were like, yep, love that, wear the neckline asymmetric. So it's just lovely to have a little somebody on speed dial, and that's the service you offer.
That is my subscription service, where clients can kind of check in if they're having a style dilemma. I will send them some personalized style choices. Also, for every single person has a personal brand, so I'll be able to guide them with a personal brand and introduce them maybe to colours they wouldn't have worn. So for you, I know you had a real resistance to red.
Yes.
Again, red, there's loads of psychology which really interests me behind the colour red. So for some people it's a primary colour, so there will be feelings of danger invoked. For other people it will be a very sexual colour, so they'll be afraid, and again that's limiting beliefs from childhood. I always say to clients, see it as the colour of confidence. Wear it whenever you're not feeling overly confident, but it's really important for me to be able to show clients how to make that colour, how to incorporate that colour into their wardrobe. So it might be pulling it in with an anchor colour, so it could be maybe a soft white in the summertime, it could be a nice French navy in the winter. So I also, as part of the subscription service, give them options for here's some personalised colour combinations too, and here's how we'll bring them into the wardrobe that's going to work for your lifestyle.
Brilliant.
Wowzers.
That's amazing.
It's like a whole different world.
It is.
So anybody who's sitting there going, well, you talk about a lifestyle wardrobe, you talked about a capsule wardrobe before. Is capsule wardrobe dead? Is that the old lingo that you saw on 10 years younger?
Do you know what? I see that the capsule wardrobe, here's my problem with it. I think it puts unnecessary pressure on people. So if you Google capsule wardrobe, it'll bring you up 8 pieces. Now, for example, one of those pieces will be a white shirt. Not everybody suits a white shirt. Not everybody can wear white. Not everybody can wear a really structured garment like a white shirt. Not everybody needs a white shirt for their lifestyle. Okay, so there's the pressure. So people are on the back foot. They're desperately trying to find this white shirt that's going to change their lives, and it's not.
We've all been there.
Absolutely. Similarly, you'll often see a cashmere sweater on it too. And again, my problem with that is, well, not everybody needs cashmere. Some people will be allergic to wool. Others won't be able to afford cashmere. So
and then others wash it every time and shrink it to the size of the child.
Absolutely. And likewise with people who are really busy, they don't have time to be taking things to dry cleaners.
No, definitely not.
So whenever I talk about a lifestyle wardrobe, I'm trying to simplify that. I'm looking at your lifestyle, and I'm thinking, and that's why I'll be saying to a client, tell me about the lifestyle. Tell me about what you do for a living. So, I have about 200 regular clients, and I would have a lot of accountants in there. I have a lot of barristers in there. At the moment, I have a lot of teachers and school inspectors as well too, and of course business owners as well. So I'm looking at their lifestyle. So the likes of my barristers, they will have to be, they have a very strict corporate dress code anyway. But there'll be times that they'll maybe be mediating with clients, so they have to look softer. There'll be other times they will be having meetings with their peers, so they will have a different look for that. When they go to court, they have a very strict dress code. But outside of work, they might be a mummy like myself, 4 children who are running all over the country, standing on football pitches, taking girls to dance. So their lifestyle, their wardrobe has to serve their lifestyle. And that's why so many people in this world have wardrobes full of clothes and nothing to wear. Because they're not looking objectively at their lifestyle. And sometimes whenever you're busy, whenever you're time poor, it can be very, very difficult to find the time in your busy schedule, in your busy day, to actually go, is that going to work for me or not? So that's why we just buy.
And have a wardrobe of nothing.
Absolutely.
And final question, I'm just going to ask you about, so it's January when we're recording this.
Yes.
And it's something I know both of us need to do. I'm a real hoarder. There's stuff that's up there for 10 years and I just can't let it go, even though I've never worn it. What is your advice for clearing out the wardrobe if you're going to invest in new clothes? How can people like me who've got a problem do that?
What I would say, I love this subject. I feel like whenever we clear, it brings so much clarity as well too. So I would look at the wardrobe If you don't have a lot of room, split the wardrobe into seasons. Before you split the wardrobe into seasons, look at, say, it's winter time now, but look at your spring, summer wardrobe and think, is there anything could be pulled across into winter? So do I have dressy camis that could be winterized? Do I have shoes that could be winterized? Similarly, whenever you're doing your spring wardrobe, before you put away your autumn winter, look at it and think, well, is there nice blazers in there that could be summerized? Are there jeans in there that I could dress up or dress down? So I would really look at that. I also have a bit of a thing for hangers, right?
Yes.
And it's so funny, whenever I go to do wardrobe edits, people always go to me, I went and bought those hangers that you always talk about. And the reason why I like, well, obviously velvet hangers, 42 centimetre velvet hangers will protect your clothes.
Okay.
So, you
Not
know,
those metal ones.
not the metal ones, not the metal ones. You know, I would say make the investment in them.
Okay.
They also allow your space to look tidy.
Yeah.
It's not, everything's not just stuffed in.
You'd die if you saw my vocabulary.
And this isn't to make anybody feel guilty. These are just suggestions.
Yes.
But it just keeps everything quite uniformed. For me personally, if I'm doing a wardrobe edit or my own wardrobe at home, I have everything categorized. So from camis to t-shirts to short sleeve blouses, long sleeve blouses. I tend to fold my knitwear because, well, it doesn't need iron as much as your blouse does. I roll my denim, so that saves a little bit of space as well too. I would also say, if you are like me and you are a shoeaholic, keep the shoes that are serving your current lifestyle. So in the wintertime, that's going to be your ankle boots, your knee boots, your trainers as well. And as a side note, don't feel like because we're in winter that you need to retire your trainers to summer. Maybe darken them down, go for a darker colourway, but there's no need to retire them at this time of year. I get asked that quite a lot. But keep your footwear that's serving your current lifestyle most visible. So, you know, you're probably not wearing sandals at this time of year, so they can be stored out of sight. Another really important thing, and I think you touched on it, was anything sentimental in the wardrobe. I would get it out of your current wardrobe. So, you know, if it has great sentimental value, get it into a nice memory box. Use a vacuum packed bag and put it in your loft. It is not serving your current lifestyle. Similarly, pieces that you have bought that and maybe have labels on them that and you look at them and you go, I'm going to do something about that.
One day
I'll wear that.
Either one day I'm going to get into it, or one day I'm going to wear it, because, you know, that cost me so much and I haven't worn it.
That was too dear to give away.
So what I would do is I would maybe work with somebody like me, and I can come in and I can say, right, okay, you're not loving it as it is, but let's alter it. Let's take it to a dressmaker and let's make it serve you. There could be other things that just, no matter how objectively we look, they just need to go. Now for me, what I tend to do, I know that a lot of people sell stuff on eBay and Depop and are very successful with that. I love an item, but it just doesn't serve me any longer. So I love to give my clothes away. I love to give my clothes away to others who I know are going to love them. A client,
Us too, would
In more way.
absolutely. A client once said to me, if you feel you have enough, give
I think
away.
that's brilliant.
Yes.
And there's a really good feeling about putting it all in the car and going up to the charity shop. You feel lighter, don't you?
Absolutely.
I'm going to do that this afternoon.
Yes.
I might need to Facebook you or FaceTime
That's
if you
fine.
think I've had this since 1961. And you're like, did you really buy that? So
How many cream jumpers do I need?
And that's the thing, you're going to see, whenever you look objectively at your wardrobe, you're going to see patterns. You're going to see patterns and habits of how you have bought. So, you know, you're going to see maybe 46 pairs of jeans, you don't love any of them. You're going to see maybe loads of printed dresses or you know, 17 cream sweaters. You know, just be very, very mindful and try to get yourself out of the mindset of buy it and buying the same thing and buying the same thing and buying the same thing again.
I do that.
You know, and that can just be, we can get stuck in a rut. We're afraid to invest, so we underinvest. or we just pick things up. I mean, I have a brilliant piece on my social media about the kind of shopper you are. So, you know, you'll have some people will be emotional shoppers, some people will be overwhelmed shoppers, some people will be petrified shoppers. So they'll go into a shop and they'll just be totally put off, and they'll be like, I'm not buying anything at all. You'll have the hoarders.
Don't know anything.
So, you know, it's the exercise is about looking at you as an individual. So what I do every day that I get dressed, I think, well, what would my higher self wear? What does she need to wear today? And that's a lovely exercise. Even whenever you're buying, would my true self buy this item, or is it just going to be another filler? I always say to clients, your wardrobe is not a museum, it needs to flow.
Oh, I just need you to move in with me every day. Tell me what my higher self,
lovely
who
just
she
around
is.
every morning. Where that
Absolutely. I'll come move in as long as my 5 boys come with me.
No problem. Add to my one crazy boy. Well, thank you so
that's really
much.
amazing.
You're welcome.
I could listen to you all day.
So could I.
Thank you.
You're absolutely inspirational. You're
Thank you.
amazing.
And you look incredible. You're a walking, talking emulation of your brand.
Thank you. As are you.
Oh.
As are you.
No, we're
Something
not.
like that.
We've got self-limiting beliefs.
Absolutely not. Not wearing blue. Not wearing the gorgeous blue.
Thank you.
Reliability, trustworthy.
That's me.
That is
That's
you.
me.
Bringing out your eyes.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.